Hi, today we're making a sunflower plate for somebody who loves sunflowers. I start off with air dry clay from Jovi's and wrestle with it until it's nice and soft. And then comes the rolling pin, the balan. Short story, the balan has come straight from Ayodhya, Ramnagri, where my dad lived for almost a year, and this pin has never been used in the kitchen, so now it graces my art box. So I use the knife to make a sunflower shape and then cut the edges with the same knife. Here I use a spray water bottle to keep the clay wet so that we don't end up with any cracks while we give the shape. Here's the final shape that I was happy with. Now we flip it over and smoothen the base out. I'm using clay with water and also my fingers and putting all the extra clay back in the packet, and then again using my fingers to smoothen the petals. Now flipping it over again, and I wasn't really happy with the size of the flower, so I rolled the pin once again and then finally again smoothing out the edges. Now that once I'm happy with the base I have, I take a very thin small wire to give the shape of the petals that I would be using as markings to later paint along. Also, I wanted a bit of a 3D effect along the petals. So for that, I used my brush and some leftover clay with water, and then used the bottom of the brush to create craters in the middle of the flower. Now using the brush to take small bits of clay and giving that 3D effect for the petals. I took my sweet time with the process. Now this is my final flower. Now to make it a plate, we have to curve it up a bit. So now here my flower is literally stuck because I use so much water. But worry not, clay can always be fixed until it's wet, so no problem there. Here I'm using my fingers to smoothen out the surface. I used this big bowl, but then I was not happy with the shape that I was getting, so I used a smaller bowl for a more curved effect. And after one whole day of drying, we're back with the dried plate and a clean slate. Here are all the paints, all the brushes that I thought I'd need. Here's my palette with some leftovers from the previous project I did. And we begin with painting the petals. Starting with light yellow. So I didn't think what's gonna work, I just went with it as I felt the colors were working I was using those, and where I felt I should change things a bit, I used another shade. I diluted the paint a lot, and now using burnt sienna for the middle part and for the edges of the petals. Here I was finally happy with the colors that we got on the flower, and then making a few changes because well, happiness is a myth. Here's some close-ups of the paints I used and the shades. And this is the flower we got. I used the golden paint along the edges and also put a coating of Mod Podge. That is why it's shining like the sun. Here, just testing out the capacity that it can hold and spin with, and some close-ups for you. I put some junk jewelry and my favorite tea kettle earrings. And here's a face that all anime fans would recognize. The character is called No Face, and this is a resin badge I made. And that's how the final plate looks. Hope you guys liked it, and let me know what you'd like to see next. And until then, ciao ciao, bye bye.